So I had a super awesome student that's progressing a ton ask me some detailed questions. I thought we'd go over them real quick, so there's some video of some of these details that we can't always get into when we're teaching fundamentals, but they're very, very important fundamental movements. And basically, the idea is trying to keep a frame and how to keep people's weight and pressure off of you. So one key thing we talked about was negative space. And the idea of that, let's say they're putting pressure on your legs, for example. Instead of trying to push your knees back towards them, you want to keep your knees in place. If they're pushing down this way, for instance, move your hips out from under them. Okay, it's going to be way easier to move your body out from under them than to try and push theirs with, especially in an area like this where you might not have much strength compared to their body weight. So here, they're pushing on your knees, you want to move your hips to face them. Maybe they come around this way, they're pushing on your knees that way, and move their hips. Then we got into the dead bug, okay? So the dead bug essentially looks like this. Okay, hopefully you could see that. The principle with any of this also, another principle we're throwing a ton at you here, is, I guess, having solid structures. If you use your arm as an example, if it's more than 90 degrees and they're pushing on it, it's solid. If it's at or less than 90 degrees, your muscles will not function in the same way to stop it from being collapsed. So to keep the structure strong, you have to keep it more than 90 degrees. Now we're talking about guard, for instance, or even starting from side control and like getting your guard back. And we won't get into detail with that. But for one thing, with our frame and our hips, we want to keep our knees past 90 degrees. We're also going to use an added structure of our elbows on the inside of our knees to make sure that stays open, okay? A lot of times we end up our side like this though. If they're pushing towards us, we can shrimp away to maintain our frame. Or if they switch to the other side, just like we talked about before, negative space, switch your hips and face the other direction. Always coming back to your dead bug here, okay? That kind of ties in what we call goose hooks, where you're goose hooking their body or their the inside of their elbow or different places with your hands here. You got goose hooks and dead bug extremities, I guess. And so, anyways, this is our position we want to do our best to get to be able to protect ourselves, recover our guard, or even sweep them. We also talked about one last thing, a principle of a bridge. I had a weird dream last night, and this is a true story, I can't make this stuff up. I had a weird story, it had to do with the house crumbling. We're going to talk about a bridge for a second. If a bridge starts to lose a little bit of its integrity, you want to go in and fix it right away, rather than waiting for the whole thing to collapse, because then you're going to have to work a lot harder to build a brand new bridge. So in the same concept here, with that analogy, as soon as you start to lose a little bit of integrity in your frame, you want to adjust as needed to repair that frame. Okay, if you wait too long and your frame collapses, they're going to be past your guard and they're going to have more pressure, and you're going to have to work a lot harder to rebuild your frame. So I hope those tiny little things give you some direction. It's, I guess, a little bit conceptual. We could get into details if we were one-on-one maybe. Let me know if you have questions, and thanks for watching.